It's becoming increasingly apparent with each new chapter that Lucius Zogratis isn't the main villain of Black Clover. There's the mystery of Lucifero in the Land of the Sun tied to the Yunami clan and the Black Sea, which links to the underworld. Then there's the mystery of Astaroth's disappearance in the underworld and the fact that he must have known about Lucius' plans thousands of years prior. And we have Adramelech's grand secret plan hinted at by Yuki Tabata, the author of Black Clover himself. And there's Beelzebub, who conveniently traded his devil heart for Xenon's soul and body, just as the plot twist with soul magic came into play. This suggests that Beelzebub was aware of it and had a backup plan. With all these devils having events in the background while our attention is focused on the false god, we might be overlooking the real masterminds in this series. The devils whom we believe Lucius defeated but who might in fact be using Lucius to purify themselves and become true angels or even gods. The devil's plan here on Yunami. Ever since Beelzebub and Xenon struck a deal exchanging a human soul for a devil's heart, I've been suggesting that this will have a big impact on the future of the Black Clover manga. We now know that Lucius Zogratis possesses soul magic which he uses to purify a devil's soul and then forms paladins, with the assistance of human bodies. Clearly there has to be a link between Beelzebub acquiring a human soul and Lucius Zogratis purifying Beelzebub's soul to place it inside Sister Lily. So Beelzebub had two souls. If Lucius only used one soul, it implies that Beelzebub could incarnate inside Xenon Zogratis at any time. He's probably just waiting for the right moment. Lucius probably doesn't even know about the pact between Beelzebub and Xenon because it happened within Xenon's mind. This is a place where time and space are unaffected by Lucius' time magic, making it impossible for him to use any sort of foresight ability to discover it. Furthermore, the reason Lucius can't predict Beelzebub's plan might be because Asta has messed up the timeline completely. There are simply too many unpredictable events happening that are out of Lucius' control. The most intriguing question is whether it's just a coincidence that Beelzebub received a soul at a time when soul magic plays such a critical role in the final saga. It almost seems like Beelzebub had prior knowledge of Lucius' plan and used the Soul Pact as a way out. It's no longer a secret that the devils were planning something like a rebellion against Lucifero. Adramelech is a prime example. Megicula did her own thing as well, and it's clear that Lucifero had been planning something big in the Land of the Sun quite some time. The only issue with this theory is that it was Xenon who suggested the pact and the specific terms, to which Beelzebub merely agreed. However, this doesn't rule out the possibility that Beelzebub planted the idea in Xenon's mind, fully aware that there will come a point where he will need to invoke that pact. But that implies Beelzebub must have gotten this knowledge from someone. If Adramelech knew, then others could have known as well. The tricky part with the idea that Beelzebub was also part of the secret group of devils working with Lucius is that Adramelech didn't turn into a paladin, but Beelzebub did. I doubt that's a fate any devil will want. So if Beelzebub knew, then he must have gotten the information from someone else. There are only two possibilities. Either Astaroth was planning to bring down Lucius and Lucifero hundreds if not thousands of years before Lucius was even born. But since Lucifero is the strongest devil, they couldn't just declare war against him. Lucifero probably had many loyal devils like Lucifero, who is known as Lucifero's most loyal servant in demonology. While this may not be the case in Black Clover, the point remains that one cannot be a king without the support of some devils. Therefore, Astaroth could certainly be a potential source, and Beelzebub planned the downfall of Lucifero. And now they need to get rid of Lucius. But there's another strong possibility. Adramelech could have just told Beelzebub without Lucius knowing about it. In a recent sketch by Tabata, the creator of Black Clover, he wrote something along the lines of what is his plan or what's his intention, hinting that there's something secretive about Adramelech. This might indeed be that Adramelech is completely deceiving Lucius into thinking he's in control when in fact, Every other devil besides Lucifero and perhaps Astaroth is waiting to come back, possibly stronger than ever. They might even return as angels due to the purification. What I mean is every single devil that wasn't originally a devil was once a holy creature, an angel. In demonology and various religions that believe in heaven and hell, Lucifer revolted against God, promising many angels victory, but he failed miserably. Naturally, many angels who then became devils as punishment for their rebellion harbored a deep grudge against Lucifero. To put it simply, they have had enough of his nonsense. In Black Clover, he even started a war against humanity and lost again. This was the first Clifford war we saw in the Heart Kingdom Grimoire memory. And now he lost again. Obviously, they don't trust Lucifero anymore. Or maybe all devils just don't want to be devils anymore. The concept of redemption where devils can become angels is even a real thing. And Lucius is crucial to this because he can purify devil souls. And now the biggest hint that something might be happening behind the scenes. The name Beelzebub comes from the ancient god Beelzebub, meaning Lord of the Flies. Additionally, there's something like a group in the underworld known as the Order of the Fly. Lucifero isn't a member of this group, however, every single Clifford devil is still alive, excluding Lucifugus, who obviously has his own things going on, is part of this order. This includes Asmodeus, Belphegor, Baal, Adramelech, and even Astaroth. Isn't it oddly convenient for the plot? Can this really be a coincidence? So if Beelzebub commands a group entirely loyal to him, which might explain why Lucifugus isn't part of it, could it be that they are planning to dethrone Lucifero, given his failures as a leader? He stops the devils from reaching their fullest potential, whether it's about returning to their angelic state, or living a life beyond the underworld without conflict, or even destroying the world, which by the way Lucifero has failed to do twice. It's pretty straightforward. If you fail to win a war once, no one is going to follow you, especially not devils. As Adramelech has shown us, he has no respect left for Lucifero. So here's a possible scenario. Aware that Lucius would lead to Lucifero's downfall, Adramelech, Beelzebub, and the rest of the Order of the Fly decided to play along. They allowed Lucius to purposely purify every single devil, temporarily placing them in human bodies to become paladins. However, their main aim is to use Lucius as a redeemer. This concept exists in many religious beliefs in demonology, referring to someone who can turn fallen angels or devils back into angels. If Lucius really thinks he can trust the devil, he's being foolish. That's about the silliest thing a smart person can do. So Beelzebub decided to plant the idea of swapping a soul for a heart into Zenon's mind. He probably mentioned it at some point. This way, Beelzebub could avoid turning into a paladin and might even connect to the strange tree. Let's just call it the Paladin Tree, or the Clifford Cocoons. This tree powers the paladins with magic and the Dark Triad's regeneration. By being linked to the whole tree and having the chance to reincarnate into Zenon, since Zenon gave not only his soul but also his body, Beelzebub might be able to alter something. This could turn all supreme devils from paladins into real, evil angels. They could potentially be much stronger than any paladin could ever dream of. Naturally, it makes sense to think that when angels turned into devils, they also became weaker. So it's plausible that true angels are the most powerful being in existence. So Beelzebub could plan to turn every devil back into an angel and accomplish what Lucifero failed. So what do you think? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this theory, then please leave a like, it really helps me a lot. And if you want to see more Black Clover content, then subscribe to this channel with the notification bell activated. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye!